So much and welcome to Harmony Spiritual Center. My name is Reverend Dr. Pjae Stanley, and I'm so glad to have you here. You can't hear me? You have this? This is on. Can you hear me now? All right. We come together every week because we want to support one another in this way of believing, in this way of being. And so we come and we share experiences, we share laughter, we share stories, we study together, and we just remind each other. I'm here to remind you, we're here to remind each other that we are children of God, that we are individualized expressions and therefore powerful beyond measure. Our words matter. What we say matters. What we say to ourselves about who we are, what's possible for us, and what we say to others matters. Last week, I was talking about it is what it is. It does what it does. There's no point in railing against what something is or what something does. A snake is a snake. If it's poisonous and it bites you, you will die. That it is what it is. We don't need to talk to it and say, why did you bite me? Because that's what it does. Well, what, right? There's no point in arguing about what it is, it is. And so all we can do is decide who we are in different stages of our lives. We grow, hopefully we evolve. We're not trying to stay as babies. We go from babies to toddlers to, young children to young teens. And we learn from our mistakes, from our experiences, from the love we experience, we learn, and we continue to grow. So we don't have to argue with someone else or what way things are. What we have power over is us. How we feel, how we approach things, what we are willing to do or not do. These are all within our purview. And when we understand that our words are powerful, we start watching our words and what we are saying to ourselves and what we are saying to each other is very powerful. Your mind and your heart does not know that you are lying to yourself. The words you say are the words you believe. So speak words that you want to believe. Speak your life into existence. And one of the things that I share with you all the time is that you cannot answer a question that isn't being asked. We love how we're living and we think it's a wonderful thing. And we're just so ready to tell someone else how you can do this, how you can live this great life. But if they haven't asked you, if they haven't recognized that you are living a great life, and if they want a part of that, they can't hear your answer. You cannot answer a question that isn't being asked. Okay, so save your advice for yourself or for those who are asking you, how are you living like this? Oh, let me tell you, right? That's when you can do that. Otherwise, you cannot. You cannot. But here's what I want to show you about the 21 words. The reason why I'm talking about this. Here's what you can do. You can soften and ease the way into. If you feel like you have something, you've seen how someone is living, you love them, you don't want them to continue to suffer. Here are 21 words that you can say to someone that might help them open to what you are saying. And it is this. I am pouring these words, into you because I have very high expectations of you. And I am convinced that you will reach them. I have very high expectations of you. That is why I'm pouring into you. Now, the reason why I can share that with you is because it has happened to me my whole life. When someone has seen something in me that I did not see in myself, and they say, PJ, this is something I believe you can do. Sometimes we can't, let me back it up. Our gifts, the things that we do easily, I'm a good singer. I've sung my whole life. I honestly, and I've shared this with you guys before, I'll always share it with you because it's my truth. I never believed that I could sing well because I started singing in the church. And the Bible says, make a joyful noise. And that is all I ever heard in church was noises. Never really heard singing. So when someone told me I could sing well, I was like, oh, okay, I'm just making a joyful noise. You don't really know what singing sounds like. I don't sound like Aretha. I don't sound like Dermot. You know, I'm comparing myself to other people. And so it brought me joy to sing. That's the reason why I did. It took my husband, Jason, which we're no longer married, but we're still friends. He'd never heard me sing because when we were married, I wasn't going to church at the time. He never heard me sing, and we were singing. I was singing at a friend's funeral, and she knew a lot of people, so it was really big, and a lot of people were in there. And there was no even seat for him, so he was leaning on the back wall. And I sang Amazing Grace because it was her favorite song. So singing Amazing Grace, and this was his face at the back of the thing. He's going, and I'm like, what's that about? Am I off key? What's happening? What's he doing? And later on he said, oh my God, you never told me that you could sing. Really? You think that sounds good? He said, it sounds great. Are you crazy? So he was someone that I believed because he wasn't a liar. He told the truth. He spoke truth into me. And that was the beginning of me realizing, oh, maybe I can sing. And maybe I can do something with it. And so I moved forward with it. Our relationship together, the time that we've been together, we're very much alike. And what we would hear from people is that, you know, you're a difficult person. What? Yeah, exactly. I had big eyes just like that. What do you mean? Because I'm thinking, yeah. Because I'm thinking, well, what do you mean? I'm loving and I like you. And what do you mean I'm difficult? Because your expectations are too high of me. Because I see great things in you, and I will call it out. I say, oh, no, of course, you can do this. What are you talking about? Of course you can do it. You can do it. It's like, oh, my God, now I got to do it because this broad says I can't. Right? And maybe you're not ready to do it. So I don't have any expectations of you or demands. I'm just telling you, I see it in you. When you're ready, do it. But don't say you can't. Take that off the table. Take that off the table. You can do it. You're not ready to do it. That's fine. I have no buy-in as to when you do it. But don't not do it because you don't think you can, because you can. So this is what we can do for each other. We can hold the truth for each other. And why do we know that people can do it? Because we are each children of God. And the only prayer that you need to pray is to tell God what you want. God is ready for you, is just waiting for you to make a decision. God won't just step in and just start doing things for you. God will step in and start doing things for you when you say, God, I want this. This is what I want in my life. Make a decision. Well, why would I be able to do anything different? I can tell you, Spirit holds the truth for you. Spirit knows the truth about you. But until you are ready to decide and say, yeah, I believe that too, and I'm ready to sing. I'm ready to speak. Show me the way. God's all over it. God's all over it. The how is not your concern. And this is one of the things that stops us. Well, I don't know how to do it. Well, come on, stop acting crazy. If you knew how to do it, you'd already be doing it. Right? That's crazy to say that. I don't know how. Of course you don't know how. But the moment you decide, God will open up all the hows for you. And here's another secret. So write down these secrets, because number one, prayer is to tell God what it is that you want, and God's all over it. Number two, God gives you one step at a time. One step. Why? Because it might be 50 steps for you to get there. Can you imagine? You are right now starting on a journey, and God gives you 50 steps, of which you don't think you can even make number 3. And so you say no. God gives you one step. The one thing you can do that'll help you see the second step. You take the second step, then He'll give you the third one. You can see it. Because you understand? One step at a time. That's how it works. So you decide, this is what I want. Show me the way. The step will be revealed to you. And here's the other thing. So Spirit and I, I've been here a while, so you guys know how I talk to Spirit. I call him George. He's like my bestie. And so we talk about a lot of things. And he tells me stuff, and I'm like, that's stupid, that's crazy. And so, but God doesn't get mad at you. Okay, so this is a human thing. For us to think that we have to talk to God so reverently, and we have to go and get on our knees. And in fact, I remember being in church, and they would say, you have to pray ceaselessly. And I just thought, well, how are you going to get that done if you're always on your knees? I don't understand that. That sounds crazy to me. Well, because prayer you can pray right here. I'm standing here talking to you. Don't you know that I'm praying, asking Spirit to give me the words to say? You don't have to hear it. I know what I'm doing. I know that God is here with me, and I can pray in my mind. I can ask for things as I'm moving forward. Okay? So that's what praying ceaselessly means. And so God doesn't have any, there's no anger going on. There's no, you dumb child. I'm like, I told you that and you wouldn't do it, so I'm not going to tell you anything else. No, that's not how it happens. So I was, so just one of the things, I was just being just stupid and human. And so I was going on a cruise with some of my family members. And for whatever reason, so before you go on the cruise, they send you all the information that you need. You have to have it wasn't unclear about that. It said 2 forms of ID. Well, I read something about, if you have a driver's license that does something or another, that's all you need. Well, I just assumed because I had a real ID, well, that's what they were talking about. No, wrong answer. So I got down there, and the lady was saying, okay, where's your second form of ID? And I said, what do you mean? Driver's license. No, that's one. You have to have 2. And my sister, because I was there with my sister and my nephew and his girlfriend, and she was getting panicky because she's thinking, oh my God, you're not going to get on this trip. What are you doing? What's wrong with you? And so they put me in another room and said, well, let's figure out, what we can do. I'm like, what can we figure out? I have one thing with me, and I don't have the rest. So she said, well, do you have a birth certificate? I said, I do, but I don't have it with me. You have a passport? I do. I have a copy of my passport. No, we need the real one because it has to be scanned. So Spirit said, boop, call your sister. And here, this is me. Spirit said, call your sister. And I said, for what? Why would she have my birth certificate? That doesn't make any sense. That's dumb. Spirit said, do you want to get on this cruise or not? I said, yeah. He said, well, call your sister. That's fine. So I called my sister, and I said, hey, honey, do you happen to have my birth certificate? She says, no, I don't have it. And I said, oh, okay, thanks. And I hung up, and I said, hello, I told you. 30 seconds later, my sister called me back. She goes, you know what? I do have your birth certificate. Because when Mom was sick, we had to prove we were her daughters to get her in this thing, and I kept your birth certificate. So I'll make a copy and send it to you, and that's how I got on the cruise. My point is this. God told me what to do. He told me before I even got in the car. But I'm done. I just need the one. Okay. Secondly, I got down there, couldn't get on, and Spirit said, call your sister. And I'm arguing. That's dumb. That's stupid. I'm not going to call. And he said, well, if you want to go, call her. Oh, fine. So I did and had it. This is how it works. It works however you want it to work. This is how it works for me because this is me. This is my personality. I want a God that I can speak to like a friend, that I can argue with, that I can say, that's dumb, and they'll keep on talking. He'll keep us, it sounds stupid to you, but you don't know what I know. So do what I'm telling you. That's how he says that a lot. Do what I'm telling you. Fine. Do what I'm telling you. Spirit, God, George. Does a rose care what you call it? We could call a rose a red flower. It's still a rose. We could call a rose the gladiator. It doesn't make a difference what we call it. A rose is a rose. It doesn't matter what you call God. You call God what makes sense to you. Spirit, George, Mary, Joseph. What does God care? Knows what who you're talking to. That's a spirit within you, your higher self. And then you listen. And if you don't listen because your human mind can't understand what's happening, so that's okay. Just keep talking. Spirit will keep telling you the same thing anyway. It's okay. So back to the original thing, the 21 words. We speak truth to people, what we see. They can't, they're not ready for it. It's okay. It's all right. You still speak truth into others because that's what we do. I was messing around trying to get my bachelor's degree. I'd had enough to get the 2-year degree. Hadn't even put in for it because that doesn't do anything for you. And my husband Jason said to me, he already had his bachelor's and he was working on his master's, and he said, you are smarter than me. There is absolutely no reason that you can't get your degree. None. So let's sign you up and go ahead and get this done. 21 words. I know, I am confident that you can do this. Sometimes you just need somebody to believe in you, and then you believe in their believing. If you can't believe for yourself, believe that they know. Believe them. I believed him because he was smart. He showed me a lot of things I didn't know, And when he told me that, I thought, well, he knew this other stuff, so maybe he does know this. So now what happens is, now I have my doctorate. I've gone all the way. I have my doctorate. My sister, Essie, the one that had my birth certificate, she wanted to get her bachelor's too. So now I understand how this works, and I can walk her through it. And we did. She has hers now. She graduated and she walked. Because now I know how it works. You understand? So it's not just about you. Like what you're learning, what happens to you, now you know that it works, and then you get to speak truth into someone else and be the person that they can believe in until they can believe for themselves. That's how this works. That's how we help one another. That's how we grow and learn and all of that. That's what we're here to do. Love and serve one another. Love and serve one another. So if you want to tell somebody something and they're not really listening or wanting to hear your advice, just think about the 21 words or 22 words or how many words they end up being. I just said 21 because that's how many words I was talking about right then. But it could be 8 as far as you want to. It doesn't matter. Just I'm sharing this with you because I've seen you in action and I know you can do this. Let's do it together. That's powerful. 8 words, 10 words, 21 words, whatever they are, that mean just that. I see you. I know you can do it. Let's do this together. And so it is.